To the Australia-Fiji Business Council President Elson, thank you very much again for being here and for organizing all of this. And Fiji-Australia Business Council, I'm not sure if are you still the president?
No, sir. Vera.
To both of you. Vera, congratulations. Good job. And Governor of the Reserve Bank, Mr. Arif Ali, I thought you were going to wait until Parliament was finished before you got here, but that's all right, considering we had a few things to talk about. Respective CEOs, invited guests, friends, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, Bulavinak, and a very, very good evening to all of you. I'm just happy as the tourism minister to see so many people at the InterCon. Seriously, I can't remember the last time I was here doing this, and it's just a welcome sight to see all of you back, all of you out of Australia, and those of you that are from here, back in Fiji, either holidaying or doing these conventions. But we must take time and say thank you to all the InterContinental staff who worked very hard to get this place ready for all of you to be here. Ladies and gentlemen, each year we have these business meetings of the Fiji-Australia Business Council or the Australia-Fiji Business Council, and we have seen this particular partnership strengthen over the years. I, for one, I ensure that every single time we go to Australia, we actually meet up with the Australia-Fiji Business Council, either it's coffee or lunch, just to make sure that we continue on the way forward and have a great partnership. The Business Council, as an active and well-connected body, ladies and gentlemen, has facilitated business introductions for members doing business in Australia not for the first time. And we've got over 20-odd companies as members. And this particular forum has become the perfect space for any business engaged in bilateral trade to obtain support and guidance in their business ventures. The Fijian and the Australian governments, through the Vuvale Partnership, have created the government-to-government collaboration which set the foundation for business and trade and economic links. And it stands at probably the best it has ever been at the moment. The past 2 years, we've all had to actually reset everything that we've done. It's not only devastated the Fijian and Australian economies, but it allowed us as policymakers to revisit our strategies. We had to refocus our efforts, we had to re-energize ourselves, and it's actually enabled businesses to reinvent themselves and find new ways of doing business. Everyone, whether the public or the private sector, became very aware of the fact that we cannot and we must not be complacent. Diversification, ladies and gentlemen, is critical, not only for maintaining strong economic growth, but also in order to keep businesses afloat in the face of adversity. This is probably one of the worst things that has ever happened to our world. The Fijian government paved the way in terms of the most direct possible road out of the pandemic, and we are definitely confident and we are proud of where it has actually led and where it's taking us. We are a shining example to the rest of the world, and we get told about it. We managed to keep the bones of our economy strong enough to support a recovery. So when the borders opened, Fiji and Fijians were ready. In the 2022-2023 financial year and the financial year of our budget, we've continued with our investment in infrastructure such as roads, water, telecommunications. Despite all the limitations, education, wide-reaching quality healthcare and agriculture support are actually key strategies of our budget. This is also supported, ladies and gentlemen, by reform policies that will make business and investment easier than ever in Fiji. And the low and sustained corporate tax regime, and with effect from 2023, 10% reduced tax of corporate tax available to companies listed on the South Pacific Stock Exchange, will only be available for 7 years, whilst normal corporate tax will be retained at 20%, which is still amongst the lowest in the region. Ladies and gentlemen, and I know some of you are involved in the tourism industry, in terms of our tourism industry recovery, visitor numbers from January to July 2022 indicate that we've already received over half, 56.4% of the visitors Fiji received in the same period in 2019. So our national airline, which we are so proud of, is holding approximately 8% higher bookings from August and going forward for the next 12 months. There is a changing paradigm in the tourism industry, and we need to wholeheartedly welcome this particular transformation. We're also looking at new markets. Soon, Fiji Airways, as you all know, will start direct flights to Vancouver. From January to July, we have received 163,466 Australians. And in July alone, we received a record 37,005, 101% recovery of the 2019 numbers. This is, ladies and gentlemen, the highest number of Aussies in a month on record. So thank you, Australia, and thank you to all Australians for being here. Apart from our tourism numbers, ladies and gentlemen, Australia remains as one of the major sources of foreign investment with FDI valued at approximately Australian dollars I'm talking about, $1.47 billion in 2019-2020. That is some feat, and mainly focused on tourism, the financial sector, and manufacturing. And we welcome more. Australia is also Fiji's second largest trade partner, with over 3,000 Australian companies currently doing business in Fiji. Through our Trade Commission office in Australia, we have helped facilitate over 35 investment projects valued at about $60 million and facilitated over $63 million worth of Fijian export to Australia over the last 12 months. This is despite the pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. This includes new market access for Fijian goods such as kava, where over 30 tons worth of Fijian $3 million have been exported to Australia since the commercial pilot started in December last year. You will now see Fiji kava products such as powder and tablets in the mainstream retail market in Australia, including retailers such as Chemist Warehouse, and in over 300 Coles stores nationwide. Australia and Fiji share a strong and a lasting bilateral relationship, evident through our Vuvale partnership, reflecting the depth and the warmth of the relationship. The partnership is actually broad-ranging and comprehensive, ladies and gentlemen, and it actually builds on the already strong foundations of the Fiji-Australia relationship. But as the theme of this forum suggests, that engagement is now entering a new paradigm and paves the way for greater trade, greater economic and business-to-business links between both countries. This shows Fiji's ongoing economic recovery and development will inextricably be linked to that both of its key trading partners such as Australia, and both in terms of trade and investment as well as tourism numbers. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, our two nations have never ever been closer, as I mentioned earlier. And it's also never been a better or easier time to do business in Fiji. Our new Biz Fiji Portal is a one-stop shop for entrepreneurs and investors and simplifies the process for actually starting a business in Fiji and taps into the various opportunities and incentives available for investors. Growing international demand for near-shore outsourcing services presents huge opportunities in Fiji as the regional outsourcing hub. Fiji's renowned culture of hospitality and resourcefulness, combined with our strategic location as the hub in the world-class internet connectivity, means that it's well positioned to deliver exceptional value for clients. And most of all, we speak the neutral English. Our best resource, ladies and gentlemen, is our dynamic human capital. Fiji has a young, a multicultural, vibrant, and well-educated workforce, with 70% of our population under the age of 40, and a literacy rate of 96%. The recent 2022-2023 budget provides numerous regulatory changes also, low and competitive tax regimes, attractive tax incentive packages across a number of sectors, with a focus on economic diversification, making Fiji a more viable environment for doing business. For those involved in the outsourcing industry, during the pandemic, I think most outsourcing companies started looking for, they went through this risk diversification exercise. We went across to Europe for the first time to just have a chat to the outsourcing activities that occurred in Europe. This is one of the biggest conventions in Europe. It was actually in Portugal, which we went to. And our outsourcing champion, Sugufta, sitting there, she was with us, and Investment Fiji. Every session that I ran was completely full, and they all wanted to know how could they get into Fiji as quickly as possible, because it had all been burnt in either the Philippines or in India. So we've now become a destination of choice. There was also various duty exemptions and tax holidays for investment in commercial and agriculture and agro-processing, recycling, renewable energy and electric vehicle stations. We've had discussions already in Australia in the last occasion that we were across there. New projects relating to the construction of hospitals, hotels, government building and residential housing as well. Infrastructure that supports the ICT BPOs sectors such as contact and data centers. And I want to also take this opportunity to say thank you to our telcos who have kept us abreast with the rest of the world. To the telecoms, to the Vodafones, to the Digicel, thank you. Thank you for making sure that Fiji is at the best that it can be in terms of being able to attract this kind of investment. The Fijian government, ladies and gentlemen, is committed to improving the quality and the efficiency of service delivery and through reforms, including better connectivity and accessibility to technology. We have invested in the infrastructure that will enable services to reach Fijians faster and taking services closer to the people. This has never, ever been done by anybody before, ladies and gentlemen. Despite the turn of events and the degree of challenges that our region is facing amidst the pandemic, we are keeping our pace to continue the vital reforms. The Fijian government will actually maintain measures and policy interventions to ensure that the Fijian economy remains buoyant. I am proud. I'm a proud Fijian, and I stand here and I give you this speech proudly and from here. And your presence here today, ladies and gentlemen, also signals your commitment to fight against the perils of this outbreak and continue to look at advanced business through innovative means. I won't keep you for long. I've been talking the whole week. And in closing, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you want to hear some fun things. I did have a few jokes, but I'm not going to say it because there are some people that might get too sensitive in here. I look forward to the many exciting initiatives, ladies and gentlemen, and successful partnerships emerging from this event. And I look forward to the continuing fantastic relationship with the Fiji-Australia Business Council and the Australia-Fiji Business Council for many, many, many years. I wish you all a pleasant evening. Please enjoy. And thank you very much. Naka.